I love to Pinterest, and one of the recipes that I just recently saw is called the cinnamon roll Dutch apple pie. It takes about 30 minutes to make, and the total time in making it should be about 3 hours. That includes putting it together, baking it, and then letting it cool. But your actual prep will be 30 minutes. The ingredients is 9, and it should serve about 8 when we're finished. We're going to put it inside this glass pie plate here. This is one from my mom when she brought a pie. I need to return it to her. First, you're going to have a crumb topping. With a Dutch apple pie, it doesn't have the typical laced pie dough on top. It has a crumb topping. So this is our crumb topping here that we're going to make. We have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and we have 1 cup of packed brown sugar, and then we're going to have a 1/2 cup of butter. And if you'll look on your stick of butter here, it says 4 tablespoons, 1/4 cup, 5 1/3 is 1/3, and 8 tablespoons equals a 1/2 cup. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a 1/2 cup. So I've already softened it. What you could do is pop it in the microwave for maybe 10 seconds, depending on how your microwave heats, or just leave it out for a part of the morning or before you bake it. But you do want it soft because you want to be able to work with it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to mix this all up until it just kind of forms small little balls. You're not going to mix it into a liquid form. This, again, it's a crumb topping. And that's where it's important that your butter is soft. And you don't have to be a big old perfectionist. I know I'm not. I think that looks good. That's our crumb topping. And it says you need to refrigerate that. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator while we get the rest of this fixed. We finished our crumb topping. The next thing we're going to work on is our crust. The crust is kind of surprising. It's the Grand's, for the recipe it says Pillsbury refrigerated cinnamon rolls with icing. And we'll see how this turns out. Again, this is Pillsbury. If you want to go to get the ingredients, www.pillsbury.com. Let's open this. Now, here's the cream cheese icing that came with the cinnamon rolls in their Pillsbury package. This is a cream cheese one. This is the Cinnabon brand with Pillsbury brand. And we're going to refrigerate that for now, but later we're going to drizzle this on the pie when the pie comes out. But for right now, it's going back in the fridge. For our filling, our apple filling, we have, you're supposed to cook with the granny apples because that's a baking apple. We eat a lot of apples in this house, and we always have apples on hand. So my husband Tony, sometimes he'll miss a few, and if they've been in the refrigerator for a bit, like this is a pink lady, and then we have another pink lady. He probably was going to eat this one, but I'm going to cook with it today. I've got some Red Delicious. So I have a variety of apples. That's not the norm. Cook with your Granny Smith if you have them, which we do, but this is just what I had on hand. And you need to have at least 6 or just 5 big ones. So 6 medium apples. Mine are a mixture, but you should use Granny Smith like the recipe. I have 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar right here. And then we have a 1 1/4 teaspoon of apple pie spice. Now I only put 1 teaspoon because this is a little strong. And you can buy it, McCormick sells it. It's apple pie spice, or you can make your own. There are oodles of recipes online on how to make apple pie spice. But this is what I had, so apple pie spice. And 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which we have right here. And this is just going to help keep the apples from turning. And it helps give a little tart taste to all this sweet. Lemons right now are so expensive, so I bought, this was $1, just a little lemon juice. I usually like to use fresh lemons, but I'm telling you, 1 lemon in the store right now is $1. So that's a little steep for me, I think. So lemon juice it is. Okay, let's cut our apples. I'm going to add the lemon juice after I've already put the apples, threw the apples in, then I'll pour it on top. We'll do that in a second. I'm going to pour the lemon on. And we're going to toss it all up. Alright, I'm not going to use all those. I'll put them in this one and make a little mini pie because my apples were a little bigger. That just looks delicious. So now that we've assembled our crust, we've assembled our filling, we're going to sprinkle the crumb topping over the top of it, and then we're going to bake it in a preheated 375 degree oven for 1 hour. Now, one thing you're going to need to check, and I'm going to set my temperature or the timer for 10-15 minutes. I'm going to let it start baking, and then I'm going to line around the edges with aluminum foil, because that's going to keep, especially if I had pulled this up on the edges, which I didn't, to make just a real pretty pie crust, it will keep these edges from burning. I bet it'll be really good. Okay, let's go ahead and bake it for 1 hour until the top is golden brown. Just took the pie out of the oven. Let's turn on a little bit more light here. And you can, as you can see, I put this around the edges to try and keep it from browning too much, because you see that does get really good and brown for you. So just take this off and let's take a look at it. And I think it looks pretty good. It says to cook until golden brown. This is a golden brown color. It looks like the cinnamon roll. You can tell it's kind of crunchy. So that has cooked. Let's take a look here. Okay, here's the finished product. The pie's been sitting for about an hour. I went ahead and cut into it, and this is how it looks. I think that looks pretty good.
Okay, folks, so it's been a long, hard week. I come in and my awesome wife has made this pie, and I've eaten 2 pieces of it, and it is amazing. It's the best apple pie I've ever eaten. She said she wanted Granny Smith apples. Pink Lady are my favorite apples. Pink Lady apples. If you've not tried them yet, try them. But that was just awesome. And she had these leftover apples here. She said I've been having my fingers down in here. It's all great. That's the best apple pie. You can say it's Pink Lady. Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you to my wife. She does not want to be on the video. And I've not seen the video she's recorded yet, so I've not seen it. She uses the head cam, so I'm interested to see how this has turned out. I've not seen that yet, but I just want to say, awesome apple pie. Whatever she says in the instructions, follow that, do it. It's splendid. Thank you. Peace to all. Cheers, and see you later.